Good morning, St. Francis. It is Tuesday, September the 28th, 2021, Tuesday of the 26th week of the year. Also the optional memorial of St. Wenceslaus, good King Wenceslaus, who on the Feast of Stephen went out to help the poor while the snow was crisp and even. It is also the optional memorial of St. Lawrence Ruiz and companions, martyrs in the 17th century in Japan during the Tokugawa shogunate, when unfortunately Christians had kind of been marked for treason and for subverting the culture. They also perhaps weren't also helping the cause in themselves. But anyway, these two other individuals, the groups of individuals, we also remember on this Tuesday of the 26th week of the year. Coming to you from the, nope, wrong way, from the Great Magnolia, by the Great Magnolia Circle. Where are we going? Here we go. Let's go up, look at the Great Magnolia. Here at the end of the driveway that leads from the chapel itself, the school is behind me. Our fields, the entrance to the fields, as well as some of the trailers for our other classes that we have here at the Franciscan School. Today's readings, we continue to hear from the prophet Zechariah, again, where God speaks about the wonderful things that God will do, but this time not just for the people of Israel, but for all people who seek justice, who seek wisdom, who seek understanding, who seek the comfort and security and safety of what it means to be a part of the life of the one true God. Again, the idea that Jerusalem is open, not just to Israelites, is just to be rebuilt for Israelites, but to be rebuilt as a place for all people to come to understand and learn about this God and the wonderful things that this God can do for humanity out of love. Again, how God has created humanity out of love and wishes humanity to achieve its fullness because of that love. In Luke's Gospel, we see Jesus set upon moving to Jerusalem to fulfill his ministry, to fulfill his purpose in his earthly life. That is to be crucified, to die, to be buried, and to rise, to change the course of human history. Jesus sets out resolutely to be able to accomplish this, leaving Galilee, leaving the northern part of the Holy Land, and now moving to the south, where Jerusalem is. On the way, they passed through the area of the Samaritans. Again, Samaritans were Jews who intermarried with other non-Jewish people. Many more pious, more devout Jews, more judgy Jews, perhaps, in some ways, felt as though this was a betrayal of the covenant and a pollution of the Jewish bloodline. And we see that with the woman at Samaria in John's Gospel. And so Jesus tries to preach there. But unfortunately, in Luke's Gospel, the Samaritans are not quite open to what it is that Jesus has to say or what the apostles are offering in the Gospel itself. And so they reject it. And one of the apostles decides that it's good to then call down hellfire upon them as punishment, for their inability to listen to the Gospel proclaimed in their midst. Jesus rebukes the disciples for even coming up with such for such an answer or a response to the Samaritans. What this rebuke is, what it says, what it doesn't say, we don't know. But the fact that Jesus rebukes them when they want to kind of deliver out or unfold a punishment against these people who do not want to listen to the gospel shows a lot about what it means to receive and not receive the gospel. Yes, the gospel must be received by everybody because it offers life and hope in a way that nothing else that we as human beings could ever offer on our own. But the reality is also that in the sense of this, about receiving or not receiving the gospel, it is not, basically something that is one and done, or even something that perhaps merits or deserves punishment that comes from God. Again, the consequences that the Samaritans would experience, again, perhaps are of their own doing if they reject the gospel. And that is something for God and those individuals to figure out on their own. For us to want to give, punishments and to have justice on our own terms and our own fallible and fickle and finite human terms, perhaps is not justice at all. A justice that does not come from God, a justice that resides in God, is not justice at all. For us to be aware of that, and for us to be more and more conscious at times whenever we want to punish those who may think differently or punish those who aren't receiving the gospel the way that we think they should be received or living it the way that we think that they should live it, we need to take a look at ourselves and try to understand what is it inside of us that perhaps is not open to the work of God, that is still going on even inside those who seemingly on the surface reject what it is that God is trying to offer to them. And may the Lord give you his peace.